Good evening, everybody. Welcome to my live stream. Hello. Welcome to my live stream. If you can hear me, please could you type on the comment section that you can indeed hear me. Can you hear me? Please, if you can hear me, type on the comment section that you can hear me. Okay, George. Okay, I can see. Please, if you can hear me, can you just type on the comment section? Okay, you say you can hear me. Thank you so very much for coming into my live stream today. From what you can see there from the topic, what you can see from the topic there, the topic for today. I'm looking at the jailbreak, the Kuje prison jailbreak, and in fact, the nation received a galling shock. Further shedding light on the very precarious security situation that we have in the country. When terrorists launched a late night attack on Kuje prison, well, they say it's correctional center, so I'll try as much as I can to keep to calling it correctional center, although a part of me is always fighting, like is in a conflict with calling the prison correctional center. Because sometimes I wonder what indeed is a prison even correcting. Anyway, so we'll leave it at that. So it's terrorists breaking into the prison and then freeing inmates. About 64 Boko Haram members were seen to have left, and were freed. They said about I think 897 inmates were freed from the prison, and then they managed to recapture about 443 prisoners. The rest, all the Boko Haram members, all totaling 64 members, have been let loose at large. And one begins to wonder if they are not recaptured, the kind of havoc these people can actually inflict on innocent Nigerians. Okay, Judge Anasanya says, we discussed in a forum yesterday, or they should resign in. Yeah, but that's the thing, because if, for example, there was intel that such an attack was being expected, and then at what point did the government not yield to the intel from the Directorate of State Security Service, DSS, that information was that intelligence? They had that intelligence. So why didn't they share the intelligence? If indeed they shared the intelligence with the government, how come the government didn't act on such intelligence until the deed had to be done? So that's one thing. That's what I don't understand. Yeah. So for the president to come out and say that I'm going to quote the president. I think the president was on his way to Daura. Okay, no, I think that's probably when he went for That's when he was attacked, when he was on his way to Daura, when he was attacked. But when he was on his way to Dakar, Senegal for a summit, that's when he stopped over to inspect the damage. And then the president he said, I am very disappointed with the intelligence system. And I asked, they said there was intelligence shared by the DSS. So who did they share the intelligence with? Didn't it get to, the death of the president? That's the question. Did it get to the death of the president? That I am disappointed with the intelligence system. How can terrorists organize, have weapons, attack a security installation and get away with it? How did the defense at the prison fail to prevent the attack? How many inmates were in the facility? How many of them can you account for? How many personnel did you have on duty? How many of them were harmed? Were they guards on the watchtower? What did they do? Does the CCTV work? That's the president reeling out questions upon questions. For me, I don't want to say this is more like crying over spilled milk or something. If they got information, they got intel that an attack was looming, why weren't the people involved proactive? Why were they not proactive in order to ensure that it didn't happen? So that is my question. Please just keep your comments coming in. Keep your comments coming in, guys. Keep your comments coming in. So now, is it right for the president to say he's disappointed? Was the president not informed when that intelligence was shared by the Directorate of State Security Service, DSS? So now, with the way things are, why are the people, the Minister for Interior, and the Controller General, of the Prison Services, why are they still having their jobs? One would have thought that by now heads would have been rolling. So, but why are they still, if they do not have the moral rectitude to say, okay, because I was assigned on this duty, since I have failed in my fiduciary responsibility, let me honorably resign. For those with moral rectitude. So, but even if they fail to resign, of course, there's a second option. They should be fired, because it's becoming too embarrassing for we as the citizens, as Nigerians, not let alone how we have become laughingstock in the international community. Because this is one too many attacks. It's been reported that about 5,000 inmates have escaped the prison. 5,000 since 2020. You can imagine such criminal elements just roaming large amongst civilized citizens, amongst law-abiding citizens. I can't even begin to think of the havoc they can wreck. How can you allow? It's like the most dangerous sect. Allow them roaming around, escaped, and they cannot be recaptured. Little wonder where we have enormous security challenges in the country. Because people who are supposed to be kept, be kept in prison, they're just there moving around like as if nothing has happened. So please just leave your comments. Okay. Time out with Fami. Fami, thank you for showing up my live stream, Fami. I thank everyone for showing up. So that is the conversation today. That is the conversation today. Why is the Minister of Interior not sacked? Why is he not sacked? And I asked the question, why did the government fail to act on the intelligence that was provided by the Directorate of State Security Services? Why did the government fail to act on it? And why haven't heads even started rolling? That is the problem in this country. When we are supposed to be decisive, people are given jobs to do. They have the template, they have their KPI. And if they fail to deliver on what they've been bestowed to do, they get fired. But the situation where whether they succeed or they fail, there are no consequences. No consequences. You just see them sit down and do nothing. So why haven't heads started rolling for negligence and culpability? Why is the minister still having his job? Why hasn't he resigned? Why hasn't the minister resigned? Minister for Interior, Mr. Aregoshola, why hasn't he resigned? And what is the Controller General of Nigerian Prison Services still doing there? He should either resign or be sacked. Yes, the comment from Mr. George Anonsoya says, but the president should act. The president should act. Because when the president fails to act, they will think it is business as usual. But for the president to even say, in fact, I do not even understand when the president said, I am very disappointed with the intelligence system. How can terrorists organize, have weapons, attack a security installation, and get away with it? Even went further to ask, how did the defense at the prison fail to prevent the attack? I think these questions should come with action. These questions, they should come with action. It's not just about the president asking these questions. I still feel the president should match that question with action by summarily dismissing those, culpable for negligence and culpability. By now, it's in Nigeria that people don't resign. Whatever happens, you just see political office holders sitting on their jobs, whether they fail to achieve a certain thing or anything that happens, either through negligence or they are culpable, they still sit tight on the job. They lack that moral rectitude to act. I had a live stream a couple of days back, and one of my subscribers actually made a very valid point. that the state minister for education even had the audacity of coming out to contest for the presidency when the school system, the university system has been under lock and key for months. So it tells you how these public office holders are wired, how they are wired. It simply tells you they lack clear moral rectitude, because I do not understand a ministry that you're supposed to supervise has been under lock and key, and you're coming to vie for the highest, job of the country. So what are you? How are you going to sell yourself? So you can see it makes us look like a big joke. A minister that has not even, for goodness sake, your ministry that superintends over affairs of schools. The university system has been under lock and key for several months. And then that's not a slight on your competence, because Nigerians are fool, or they do not know how to ask questions. And then you come up, you have the audacity of coming out to contest for the highest seats in the country, when the little ministry that was given to you to handle has been closed down for months. So that is the system that we find ourselves. That public officers or office holders feel that they don't owe Nigerians any explanation, and that they can very well do as they deem fit. Otherwise, why would Minister for Interior, whose responsibility, the Ministry of Interior is a ministry that is tasked with the responsibility of providing internal security, with a supervisory control over the police force, the Nigerian police force, the Nigerian prison service, the Nigerian immigration service, Nigerian security, civil defense corps. That is this ministry. The Interior Ministry is saddled with this responsibility of performing this oversight function of supervision and control of these sisters agencies, like the Nigerian Police Force, the Nigerian Prison Service, the Nigerian Immigration Service, the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps. And he failed, freed terrorists numbering over 600. And then you do not have the moral rectitude to resign. Okay, reading comments here. It is my view that I'm reading it from George Onasanya. He said, it is my view that some government officials are accomplices. If not, some people should be fired now. Exactly my point. But the buck stops on the president's table. If some government officials are complicit in what has just taken place, are complicit in the jailbreak, that doesn't include the president. All the president has to do is to fire them. Is to fire them and send a strong message, a very strong worded message to others. But for them, after this thing happened on the 5th, that's Tuesday last week, in a few days' time, it's going to be a week. So why haven't we seen things happening around within, the people who are supposed to be responsible? Why haven't we seen people, heads rolling? Why hasn't somebody should be fired? Me, my number one person that should be fired is a minister for interior. It's Aregbesola. He should be fired. And then the Controller General of the Nigerian prison he should have gone. Because if you're waiting for them to honorably resign, they will not resign. People don't resign in Nigeria no matter what. Accuse them of fraud, try to tarnish their image. Whatever you accuse them of doing, they will never leave that position. They will stick tight on it. That's the way they are. That's the way we are wired in this country. Our morality is so low. Okay, Fami, can you so Fami, if you can hear me, there's a link if you want to come in. There's a link if you want to come in to host with me. There's a link there. Just click on the link and come in. Please keep your comments. Okay. Courage, I thank you for turning up for my live stream, Courage. Moment with Blessing, thank you so much for showing up. Thank you for coming. Onyi. Onyi, thank you for coming. Oh, yeah, Onyi says, this is Nigeria where impunity reigns. Exactly my point. This is Nigeria where impunity reigns, because I do not understand from the questions the president is even asking, and I keep going back to that question, because what I don't get is when the president is saying that I am disappointed with the intelligence system. How can terrorists organize, have weapons, attack a security installation, and get away with it? So how did this happen? So if the president is querying this should be a serious indictment on those that were supposed to, whose responsibility was to ensure that something like this did not happen. And my question is, why are those people still on the job? That is my question. Why are they still on the job? And now they should have gone home. Because to even begin with, if they are culpable, if they are complicit in what has happened, keeping them on the job will undermine investigation. That's the way I see it. Such people should have been relieved of their jobs so that there will be a neutral body that will come in and do a thorough investigation. But still allowing them to be there, I'm not saying they're responsible, but for goodness sake, there are layers and layers of intelligence and reporting. So if they're still there and then you want to carry out investigation, how can they be on the job? How can they be in a situation where they were supposed to ensure, just like the president asked, that is disappointed with the intelligence of the intelligence system? And how can terrorists organize and have weapons to attack a prison, free inmates of about 897? This is a shocker. And then 64 Boko Haram members are on the prowl. These guys, they even had the audacity of setting ablaze documents. They had that much time, broke into the prison, freed their inmates, and then had time to set ablaze documents. And then all we do is to sit down and start talking that, yeah, what is probe? Do we not know what probe means in Nigeria? Let me read the comment from Oyubo, which says, as in, we need to mobilize and vote in competent leadership to steer Nigeria away from the brink. This is a crucial moment for our country. Exactly my point. Because if the officers, the ministers that you appointed have been so, they can barely deliver on their mandates, why are they still there? That's the question. Why are they still there? Why are they still there? That's the question. Please keep your comments coming in. Keep your comments coming in, please. Okay. Okay, Mercy, thank you for showing up my live stream. Thank you so much, Mercy, for showing up my live stream. So keep your comments coming in. So it is really, it's something that because the security challenges have gone beyond Fulani herdsmen to the menace of bandits and ISWAP. So there has to be, all hands have to be on deck. This is not a time to joke. If people cannot carry out their responsibilities, then why are they still on the job? They should be fired. They should be fired. Because I do not understand why the government did not act on the intelligence provided by the Directorate of State Security Services before the attack on Tuesday 5th. Because it was a clear warning that there was an impending attack. The heightened spate of insecurity and the audacity with which these terrorists ravaged Nigeria unchallenged. They had all the time to go through all the cells, freeing 876 inmates. And then they barely recaptured them 443. The rest are still at large. Please keep your comments coming in. So what do you think? You think the government or Mr. President should allow the officers, whose responsibility is to maintain peace and order, internal security, you should allow them while investigation is going on, or they should be sacked? What's your take? What's your take on that, please? Your comments. Your comment, please. Do you agree that the president should still allow, for example, allow the interior minister and then the controller general of the prison services to still stay? Or you think they should be sacked? And if you say they should stay, why must they stay? If you say they should be sacked, what is your reason for that? Please put your comment down so that it can be engaging. Your comments, please. Yeah, Fami, if you want to get into the studio, there is a link up there for you. If you want to get into the studio, there is a link up there for you. There's a link for, if you want to be part of this conversation, please click on the link. Click on the link so that we can make it interactive. Click on the link above and then get into the studio and let's hear your own opinion. Okay. Oh, thank you so very much. Anyway, saying, well done, Shanice. I have been following your channel for some time now. It's been series of security failures from this government, and it's obvious that the entire security architecture needs to be rejected. I'm sure that's what you're trying to say. Yeah, because the present administration actually wrote on especially security, three hydra-headed problems of Nigeria. That's the security, insecurity, corruption, and I think employment, economy. Yeah, that's economy. I don't know whether they seem to be overwhelmed. The security challenges are just becoming something else. This is not longer the issue of Fulani herdsmen. They're talking about bandits, terrorists, ISWAP now. So it's really pathetic. Okay, overhauling. I don't see that happening. So okay, that's Onyibo still saying that overhaul. I don't see that happening. So we can only look to the next government for salvation. But the next government for salvation, are you sure with the heightened state of insecurity challenges, kidnapping, and all kinds of stuff that we're experiencing, you think we can wait until the next government before they can do something about it? Are you sure Nigeria will still exist? Because I really feel that the government should start acting now. Yeah, Jennifer Chris, thanks for coming. I appreciate you. Ariwa Boys TV, thanks for coming. Abbas, thanks for coming. I appreciate you. Barika de Sala, Abbas, Barika de Sala, thanks for coming. So, answering the question of Oyubo, that total overhauling, and he doesn't believe that the present government can do anything about this, and that we have to wait for the next government. For seriously speaking, I do not envy the next administration that will come on board. I do not envy the next administration. I don't envy the next administration at all, considering the enormous challenges that we are facing. Sometimes I even ask myself, as a businessman, I'm doing well for myself. I can sleep well. What the job of the president is just too much. It's just too much considering all the challenges that we are facing. So for someone to even sacrifice that to come, to want to be part of the solution to the problem by being the president, I don't think I envy such person. Because sometimes you just feel overwhelmed. The attacks are not even abating. They're like, it keeps coming. It keeps coming. As if there was a prelude to this jailbreak. When Mr. President was going to his hometown, Daura, for the Easter, for Salah, was going to Salah. You saw what happened. He was attacked. His convoy was attacked. The president convoy was attacked, as if that was a warning to what was to come. So you can see that even the president is not even safe. If the president is not safe, if the president is with all the security, the paraphernalia of security guards around the president, all the protection, all the heavily guarded motorbikes, and yet they come, these terrorists, they are so audacious. If they could have that kind of audacity of attacking the convoy of the president, then there is a serious problem in this country. It means you and I don't even want to go there. This is a clear case of a failed system. How did we even get here? How did we get here? Please keep your comments coming in. Yeah, Jennifer. Yeah, okay. Josephine, thanks for coming. Josephine, thanks for coming. So, Fami, if you want to be part of this live stream, all you need to do is to click on the link and then get into the studio with me. And get into the studio with me. Keep your comments coming in so that I can read them. Please, I want this live stream to be interactive. Okay, all right. The comment from Abbas says, yes, okay, thank you for taking your time to respond to me again. Thank you for the salad, which is okay. Before, okay, I'm totally busy now. And so once again, thank you for the topic. Yeah. Thank you, Abbas. I appreciate your presence. I appreciate your presence. So that is the topic for today. Do you think that the Minister of Interior should have been sacked by now, or he should have resigned in the wake of what is happening in his ministry? Because he supervises the prison, Nigerian prison service, supervises the Nigerian police force. These agencies are actually under the Interior Ministry. And for this agency to have failed in their responsibilities to protect Nigerians, to secure the country, and then that's a serious slap on the minister. And that's why I'm saying that the minister should have by now resigned, or the president should have had that political will to ask these people, to ask them to resign or sack them. At least that would send a very strong message across. That would send a very strong message across. So keep your comments coming in, please. Keep your comments coming in, because come to think of it, we've had series and series of challenges. Not too long ago, the Kuje prison break was announced. Not too long ago. Even during the NSAS protest, these criminals, these hoodlums, took advantage of that period to start visiting prisons and freeing their people. So what is really going on? Is it that there are just no solutions to these things? Are there no solutions to these things? Are there no solutions? Okay, okay. Jennifer, thank you. Josephine, yeah, thanks for coming. Okay, Onyimbo is saying, the comment from Onyimbo says, I agree with you. That's why this election is so crucial. For too long, we have been suffering under leaders who aren't interested in solving our problems. Exactly. You're asking to be given the top job of the country, and you seem so unprepared for the challenges. And then when you come, the first thing you start with excuses. I think I was told when I was even growing up that it's only a lazy man that complains about his working tools. That a man that is lazy, he will always find excuses not to work. So he will always say, oh, my tools are not working. My tools are blunt and stuff like that. So you're a president. Even before you took up that responsibility of becoming the president, you asked for the job to be given to you and you were elected. And after being elected, why the excuses? Are you saying you didn't do your due diligence before asking to be given the job? So why the excuses? Okay, okay, this is from Onyubo again. Is saying that the Kuje prison break is just the latest of the series of security failures in the country. When there are no consequences for failure, how can we improve our internal security? Exactly. In fact, the ex, I think, General Buratai now has a fraud allegation on his head at the moment about 1.8 billion naira. That was someone that was to provide security. Now that he's out of office, and this allegation is leveled against him, well, he has said that he's going to court to defend his name. When I keep telling people that the moment you are in a position of authority, you have to carry yourself in such a way that you don't allow debt, that you have to be above board or above suspicion, like Caesar's wife. Say, be above suspicion, meaning don't even allow someone begin to suspect you. So that is how sensitive that position you're occupying means or is. But in this country, when a few months ago, we heard of the is it Accountant General of the Federation being accused of stealing 80 billion naira. I mean, someone whose fiduciary responsibility is to protect and guide our funds. And suddenly it's being accused of stealing what he was to protect. He had a fiduciary responsibility of protecting. And he stayed there for months. He just quite recently, he stayed there for up to like 5 months before he was eventually asked to go. Why did he have to stay that long? I'm just trying to resonate what my friend here, Onyubo, is saying. I'm just trying to resonate it. That when people are not punished, when there are no consequences for failure, and then it becomes, people begin to behave as they like, whimsically. So how can an accountant general that was accused, allegedly though, of stealing 80 billion naira was still allowed to remain on the seat until just recently that he's been asked to go? Stay there for more than 5 months. So why would you think that the next person that's coming there is going to sit up? Let me go down and read the comments. The comment from Peaceful Earth with Mercy says, I believe there is a big problem in the North too. If they're everywhere to take care of their animal, we pray for good, for godly person. Yeah, so that's a prayer. Someone who is God fearing and has the competence, because everybody cannot be president. It still has to be just one person. And why I in a way I cannot understand why we find it so difficult to get that elusive leader. That leader that has been so elusive to this country. Would there ever be a time that we will get this leader? That's my question. So nobody wants to host with me? Can you guys see the link? Pretty May, I'm inviting you to come up. Ememesien, thanks for coming. Ememesien, thanks for coming. So it's bizarre. It's really somehow. So keep your comments coming in, please. Keep your comments coming in. Is Fami still there? Time out with Fami. Can you guys see the link? So that is the question here. So I want to see, do you think the interior minister should still retain his job? That's the question. Do you think he should still retain his job? Do you think he should still retain his job? Okay. This the comment from Josh Onansa says, all those top-ranking correctional center officials should have lost their jobs by now. And that's what I'm saying. By now, they should have lost their jobs. Because we know that in Nigeria, people don't resign. Maybe for fear of the unknown. Oh, this little job that I have, oh, I need to take care of my family. I need to do this. So for that, they don't resign. If you like, accuse them of anything. They don't have that moral right to say, okay, I have to, in order to protect my reputation, I'll resign in protest, or I'll resign so that there'll be a level playing ground for investigation, so that I would not interfere in the investigation. But in this country, you see someone being accused in his own office of fraud, and the person still stays there while investigation is going on. So how fair do you think that investigation is going to be? Because whether the president lacks the political will, I don't understand that, to fire these people. I don't know. That's an obvious failure of serious negligence. Serious negligence. There should be consequences. I don't understand how can, the president was asking those questions. For me, those questions are immaterial. The question should, in fact, what should have followed those questions is right there and there, in fact, just fire all these people. Why keep asking, I am disappointed with the intelligence system. How can terrorists organize, have weapons, attack a security installation, and get away with it? How did the defense at the prison fail to prevent the attack? How many inmates in the first? This I don't really understand that. So I will not even ask these questions. The first thing I'll do is to relieve them of their duties, so that whoever that is coming there would know that it's not business as usual. For goodness sake, this is not the time to act with kid gloves. We're in a very precarious situation. We're in a serious precarious situation that there is really no need for us to be, I don't know, someone did something and just gave him a pat at back and say, oh, what's that? Fire these people, because this is a serious embarrassment. Too many jailbreaks in Nigeria, too many. I don't understand this. And then I don't really get this. How porous is the security system? How porous? The correctional facilities. Is the correctional facilities so porous? I'm just asking. It is so porous that terrorists could just come in and break the wall, and then everything would just go like that. So for the president to say he's really miffed, I just don't understand that. And then free inmates, 879 inmates from the facility. Capturing only 551, and then the rest are still like everywhere. Nobody even knows where they are. I can begin to imagine the kind of fears that will be in the minds of those living around that Kuje, Abuja area. If prison that is supposed to be fortified can easily be broken, then people living around with little or no security, they are in trouble. I'm sure some residents must have relocated to to other places because the fear is there. Okay, let me read this message. Okay. Dr. Dennis, thank you for coming to my live stream. And Dennis Uni is saying that the jailbreak makes me fear for the future for the future if security in Nigeria, if things continue like this. The recent outcry by Akwa Ibom State Governor substantiates the porous security architecture. Okay, I'm reading from Amen Essien. Amen Essien says, my dad said that Nigerians are scam. He is listening. Oh, thank you so very much. Hey, regards to your dad for me, amen. So the thing is this: when we are not decisive with our actions, the buck stops on the president table, and this kind of thing, it should be a serious indictment on the competence of the system, of the president. I mean, let's say it as it is. It is the president. The buck stops on his table. If his men are unable to secure the country, then he should take the blame. He should take the blame. So all those queries that he keeps asking questions, I don't really understand. I don't understand that. And then the Minister for Interior coming out to say that the Kuje prison is one of the most sophisticated and well protected. I don't understand. Kuje prison that has been broken into, and inmates of 879 being freed, 64 Boko Haram sent off free. They are not recaptured. But the minister is still posting that Kuje prison is one of the most fortified and secured, sophisticated. So if Kuje prison is one of the most secured, fortified, and sophisticated, how did they break into the prison to free inmates? Oh God, I think you should. I don't want to use some unprintable words here, honestly, because it's so annoying to hear him say that. Is that the responsibility he's supposed to take? Still coming out to tell us how secure Kuje prison is? This is too much. Okay, Josephine said, if it were to be in developed country, minister would not wait till the following day before they will tender their resignation. Absolutely, but that's correct. That's correct. In Nigeria, people don't resign. I said that earlier. The job they were looking for, now that they have the job, you want them to resign, even if you like, accuse them of anything you want to accuse them. That job, they will see that. In fact, they will die on top of that job. They are not living. They are not living. And what I don't understand, that even though the principal officers refuse or lack that moral rectitude, that morality that will say, okay, fine, okay, I think they are morally burdened to act this way and then leave the scene because you have failed. So even if they are unable to do that, the president that has the power should speak the language that they understand. Ask them to go. That's the way I see it. Okay, Treasure Ekanem, thank you for coming for my live stream. Ola, I can see you. Thank you for coming, Ola. Thank you so very much for coming. I appreciate. So what we are discussing is this, for those that are those who are just coming in. We know the jailbreak that happened on the 5th of this month. That was on Tuesday. There was an intelligence report. There was this intelligence that was provided by the DSS, the Directorate for State Security Services, and made available to the government. My question is, why did the government act on that intelligence? before the jailbreak attack? That's my question. Okay, government failed to act on the intelligence as provided by the DSS. So the people who were supposed to ensure internal security, like the Minister of Interior and the Controller General of Prison Services, they failed in their judicial responsibility. So why are they still on the job? That's my question. Why are they still on the job? Are they not to be fired? And now, if they are not, if they should not be fired, if you think they should not have been fired, or they shouldn't fire them, why do you think they shouldn't fire them? So that's the conversation for today. That's the conversation for today. If you think they should have been fired, let me know why you think so. And why do you think the president has not fired them? I want to also read out the president's response. Imagine that it was also revealed that one of the personnel of the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps that was attached to this prison died in the attacks. That's, in fact, and with this, people are still there holding on to their jobs. I don't understand that. Because it's a serious indictment. If the State Security Service says it shared intelligence with the security operatives prior to the attack, but no prompt action was taken to prevent this horrific incident. So who is to blame? So this alone should cost the minister his job. Should cost the minister his job. I mean, there's really no point sugarcoating anything here. And then if the president fails to sack this minister, then that's a serious indictment on the president. Because the reason why it seems as if, I mean, there was a video I made some time ago, and I said the president came out, I think it was during the 61st independence celebration, 61st independence celebration of the country. The president came out and gave a broadcast, and he was reeling out the enormous sums of money allocated to fighting insecurity. Huge sum of money run into billions of dollars. And I asked a simple question: why does it seem that the more they are investing in fighting security, the more porous the security architecture? Why? Why is the security mathematics not adding up? Because one would have thought that the more you invest in security, we should be able to see at least commensurate significant improvements in the security situation. But we keep hearing billions and billions of dollars being injected into the security, yet every day it's either jailbreak or bandits attack, train. It's something else. It is something else. It is something else. So what is really going on? One of my subscribers, when I was doing, I think the live stream I had a few days ago, he said in the country where he's living, he stays in Ghana, that the former president lost election because of power, just electricity. There was power outage for a reasonable period of time, and that was just that. That's what cost him his job as the president of that country. But in Nigeria, I don't even understand. This is the reason why they say the voters do not have a say. Is it that when they go to vote, they don't remember what they have gone through to be able to make a statement with their PVC, be able to make a statement with the way they vote. That because you did this or during your time, this happened. This happened, and for that reason, you're not coming back. Why can't we see such things? And that as it keeps getting bad, it keeps getting bad. Okay, let me just read comments here. Okay, Decency Beat, thank you for coming to my live stream. I appreciate. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for coming to my live stream. Okay. All right, amen. Okay, stretch my regards to your dad, amen. Okay. Your comment, please. Okay, I think I've read this one from my friend, Dr. Dennis. I said the jailbreak makes me fear for the future of Nigeria. Yeah, I get that. Okay, Josephine is saying that I learned that DSS official is very close to the prison of. I don't know what that means, Josephine. I don't know what that means. Part of this is from George Onansa. I said part of the question is who did the DSS share the security report with? I just said that the DSS said in a statement signed by the DSS, he said he shared intelligence with security operatives prior to the attack, but no prompt action was taken to prevent the attack. That is shared. I'm responding to what and George Onansa is saying that who did the DSS share that security information intelligence with? So he said he shared it with the security operatives at the prison. Maybe he didn't mention they said the security operatives before the attack. So why didn't they ask that the minister should have been sacked as well as intelligence officials responsible for this failure? Exactly my point. That's the topic of this conversation anyway. The minister should have been sacked. No two ways about that. Because what are the implications? That's that's the next stage of this conversation, please, guys. What are the implications if the minister still stays on that job, please? I need to hear your views on this. What are the implications if the minister still fails, does not get sacked? What do you think would be the implication for the country and for the fight against insurgency if the minister that is supposed to protect or safeguard the internal security is culpable under his watch, prison break all over the place, and he's still there cruising? So if he fails, if he is not sacked, what do you think would be the implication for our country? Please, that's the next stage. Just keep your comments coming in, please. Okay. Keep your comments coming in. Josephine said the minister should have been fired 24 hours because he doesn't know his job. Exactly my point. Treasurer Ekan said he should be fired, but then we are in Nigeria, a country where injustice rules. Yeah, that's pretty well said, Treasure. That's pretty well said. We're in Nigeria, a country where injustice rules. Those principal officers, they were supposed to ensure that the internal security of this country was intact. And because of negligence and culpability, they allowed this whole thing to happen, even when there was a shared intelligence prior to the horrific incident. And then nobody took charge. Nobody acted on that intelligence. The very reason heads should have been rolling by now. So why heads are not rolling still is a sad commentary for this country where people just do what they like and then they go scot-free, and they are not accountable for that. They are not called to account for what they have done. There are no consequences. This is sad. I do not understand that 5 days or so after this incident, the principal officers that would have taken responsibilities for these things are still there running their mouths. The minister saying that Kuje prison is one of the most fortified, protected, safe, sophisticated. But at the end of the day, what happened to it? This is not the time to come and be bragging. This is not a time to come and be bragging. You just, take responsibilities for that and stop the bragging. Nobody wants to listen to that. Keep your comments coming in. Josephine said, are you telling me government doesn't know anything about this? I don't know about that. Josephine, I don't know about that. Are you telling me government doesn't know anything about this? I don't know about that. But of course, I don't believe that government is involved. It's just maybe some saboteurs in the system. They just want to sabotage, the system. But why are they doing that with impunity? Because there is no punitive measure. People don't answer to their crimes. People don't, officers, political office holders do not answer to negligence and culpability. They don't answer to it. Because if they do answer to these things, some of them will sit up. So it will be a little stretch to say that government, I'm responding to Josephine, because according to news, they said these people observed about 15 minutes prayers before they left. I don't know if you can expatiate that for me, Josephine. You said, according to the news, they said the people observed about, who are the people that observe 15 minutes prayer, please? Because what I know is that the officers that were stationed were recalled, were taken out of the posts. They left the post before this happened. Before it happened. But I cannot remember. I don't know how true that is. So keep your comments coming in. Because they said, according to the source, that a well-coordinated attack lasted for 4 hours without much effort by the security guards on duty to repel the terrorists. The soldiers who had just resumed duty same day were said to have, fled the scene for safety, leaving the facility at the mercy of the attackers. Wow. Because when I mean, it just contradicts what the minister said, that the Kuje prison is the most guarded, the most fortified. But from this comment, that according to the source, the well-coordinated attack lasted for 4 hours, leaving much effort to security guards on duty to repel the terrorists. The soldiers who had just resumed duty same day were said to have fled the scene for safety, leaving the facility at the mercy of the attackers. So how can you come to tell us that Kuje prison is the most fortified? So people are now accusing the government of negligence, according to what, in fact, this kind of relates to what Josephine is saying. That, are you sure? Okay, let me read the comment from Irene J.U. Thank you for coming to my live stream. It is sad how our leaders are taking the whole country for a ride. sometimes I wonder if all the clowns or acting like they are not competent enough to be in that office. It's really sad, Irene. It's sad, Irene. May God save our brothers and sisters living in Abuja. That's why Nigerians are leaving the country every day. Yeah, Irene, you're right. You're right, Irene. Because something happened. It, okay, I think Onyi, thanks for coming. Let me get your, okay, Onyi says, what they told us here, the people in Abuja, that they will be carrying, let me get it there, they will be carrying anyone that looks somehow or looks suspicious. Just imagine, I beg, these people know what they are doing, people. So that's the thing. Before I read that message, I went to what Josephine talked about, whether the government was culpable. They say they are accusing the government of negligence, having received security reports to the effect earlier, questioned why the armored personnel carrier stationed at the main entrance of the prison was not destroyed with bullets or explosives. Wow. The armored personnel carrier stationed in the front of the prison was not destroyed. So how did the terrorists, how did they pass? How did they have a free walk through the gate with armored personnel stationed at the main entrance of the prison? So it's really funny. That's why people are questioning. I don't really, I understand why Josephine is saying that. Are you sure the government is not part of this? Because if terrorists, okay, why station the armor carrier there? Why station it there if it cannot be put to use? Well, this is really sad. So who is coming in to host this with me? Irene. Okay, let me. So it's really sad. So if you want to come in, there's a link. There's a link there. Just come in and then we'll have this conversation together. Just come in. There's a link there. Keep your comments coming in. Okay, George, and say, okay. Keep your comments coming in, please. Oh, Directorate TV, thanks for coming. Thank you for coming. The link is there now. Is there no link? There's a link there. Why does this link disappear all the time? Okay, you can't see the link. All right, let me try and put the link back. Let me try and put the link. Okay. It's pinned to the top. I've pinned it now, so check. So have you seen the link now? I've pinned the link. So, all right.
Hello, Shines. Can you hear me clearly?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you, Irene. I can hear you.
Hello, everyone. Good
I can
evening.
hear you, Irene.
A very blessed and happy Sunday to us all on the live stream. And I'm using this
Thank
opportunity to
you.
wish us all a very blissful week, peaceful week. May God protect us all as we are in this same ship together in this country. May God help us all.
Amen. Amen.
Because I almost forgot that there was a stream. You were going to stream today. I was busy with the
Mm.
news. Man, reports coming in is not sweet at all. Reports coming in is, I'm really praying for our brothers and sisters living in Abuja to be extremely careful at this period, because the ISWAP claim responsibility for what occurred in the Kuje prisons. And then they are saying they are vowed to deal with Christians. They have said they are going to be bombing schools and churches. So let us not sleep. It's not the time to slumber at all. We do not need to sleep right now. What we need is to, if you are forgetting God in any way, it is the time to hold God anywhere, whether by the waist, by the leg, anyhow. It is not the time to sit down and gather and talk with people, dragging political talks. It's the time to actually return back to your God, because those kinds of news is not sweet. Imagine on a Saturday like this, these kinds of reports are coming in. The threat is too much. Like, the country feels sometimes as if it cannot be fixed. A country that was once peaceful, a country that was once in the limelight, a country that was once a pace setter, a country that the whole Africa are holding on to. Because no matter what we want to say today, Nigeria is still the lion of Africa. But when the lion of Africa is being taken out of the jungle into another man's country's jungle, that means the lion is no more there. The threat is too much on a common citizen, like a common citizen that does not have guns. You don't know what to use and defend yourself. The only defense you have as a human being is to return to God. That is why every day you go to the airport, you go to embassy, you are seeing Nigerians living to the smallest country like Cotonou. Nigerians are living a day because the country, we are all living in fear. No safe zone anymore, no safe place, not even the church. Imagine leaving your kids to school. You don't know the next plan. You don't know what is going to happen in the next 2 seconds. Imagine them coming out to actually, with their full chest, saying they are claiming responsibility for what happened, and they are now vowing to deal with Christians in Abuja. So please, God is everywhere. Oh, God is everywhere. Even if you're inside your house, even if you're inside your toilet, as long as your faith in God is strong, hold God strong. Hold God strong, because this is the time for that. This is the time for when the Bible said, worship God in truth and in spirit. Worship God in truth is wherever you are. Worship Him. Remember Him. Believe in Him, that He is your God, your protector, your foundation, your anchor, and everything. This is the time that Christians need to remember that. What the Bible has always said. This is the time. to hold God firm and strong. Believe. This time is the time for your belief, your faith to be stronger. It is not the time for, I want to go and look at what happened in my community when they came to give PVCs. The struggle was extreme. People were fighting because of number.
They're going to give you what?
We don't even know whether they will even come back to give the PVCs to those that have not seen their PVCs.
Okay, you mean when they came to give you PVC,
yes.
Irene?
Yes.
Okay.
The fight is too much. The fight is just too much. What are we struggling for? You can imagine a country that we have audio resources in the world. Like in my village, I can mention like more than 20 untapped natural resources. More than 20 untapped. And we are busy. These government people are busy taking us for a ride. We have the wealth. We have the smartness. We have the intelligence. We have the expatriates. We have anything. Nigerians, we are good in every sector. As long as we put our minds to it, we are good with it. Why are these kinds of things happening in this country? Why is the threat? Why is terrorism promoting itself in this country? Why?
So what I want to ask, Irene, what I want to ask is this, that okay, this has happened. You know, the Interior Ministry is actually has other sister agencies that he superintends over, supervises. He plays a supervisory and control role on those agencies like the Nigerian Police Force, the Nigerian Prison Services, and then the National Security, other security agencies. I think it's being controlled and supervised by this Interior Ministry. Now the question is this: now these agencies were supposed to ensure internal security, and then the prison service falls directly under this Interior Ministry. So you think this is a serious indictment on the minister for this jailbreak that just happened? Is a serious indictment on the minister? Okay, so you think that the minister should be sacked, or you think that would be too much of?
If this thing
you think he should be sacked, or it's too much?
You know, if these things happened in a Western world, like the first world country, he doesn't need to wait for the letters of sack to come. He would have resigned because, one, he is not competent enough in the sector. He's not competent enough with the portfolio he was given. He's not competent enough to serve. That is the truth. He's not competent enough in any way to be in that position, and this thing is happening and he's still remaining there.
So you think he should have been sacked by now?
He should have been sacked on a norm. If he's someone with the heart of God, someone that God is controlling, he would have left that office with pride. He would have said, "Oh, I have seen that I was my best was not good enough. I've seen that I didn't do the right things. That is why this thing occurred. I think I need to leave this office for someone that is competent enough to come and do this work." But he will not leave because they keep sharing.
So why do you think he wouldn't leave? What makes you think he would not leave?
Because of the money involved. They won't leave because maybe the next person that will come in might open the Fawonyash. The next one that will come and explain what is going on in that sector. And apart from that, even the next person that is coming in has been bribed before coming in. They are all corrupt in all manners. They are all corrupt. They are so ruthless that they forget they have their own children living somewhere. That anything like natural disaster can actually kill their own kids over there. Make your own house well. No. Lay your bed well. No. Look at the medical sector. It's the most confused sector I have seen, I have heard of. The medical sector of Nigeria is the worst sector ever. How can a medical doctor be paid 30,000, 50,000 as salary for a month? You have like 50 people. What is 50? More than 50 people to one doctor. in a country that has all the own natural resources, in a country that is the second in the world with natural liquefied gas, if not the first in the world. Like, we have it so much in abundance that we don't even know what to do with it, and yet we lack power. We lack power in this country. While we stayed in this country and we are still the ones that supply power to the neighboring countries. How funny, like you are living in the river and water they enter your eye. How that is, man. Sometimes I sit down to read papers and I'm ashamed of my own country. I'm ashamed of the leaders that are in the office. I just know one thing. At the end of the day, it is not by our vote anymore. It is by God. Because he allows these things. Because in the Bible, it's written that he puts those people in power. We should respect them. So I think after voting, whoever we want to vote, whoever we believe in that will enter and change things, we should also go to God in prayers to allow us enjoy things in this country. It is time for Nigerians to stop crying. It is time for Nigerians to enjoy their motherland. It is time for Nigerians in diaspora to beat on their chest and say, yes, that is my country. It is time for Nigerians in diaspora to actually have peace of mind and say, oh, I'm done with this white man's land. I'm coming back. But with all these things going on, how can it happen?
Irene, what I'm saying is this. So you think that the president not relieving them of their duties? You think the president hasn't done well?
Yes, it hasn't done well. Look at Boris Johnson. People don't believe in him anymore. People don't believe he can do anything for the United Kingdom. What is he doing now? He's coming down. He stepped down. That is how people should behave. When you know you are not competent enough in doing something, come down. Let someone else that is competent, that has vision, to climb. Not like you remain there. People will keep dying. Like normally, on a norm. Since the terrorism of Nigeria started, in Nigeria, which president has ever come down and said, no, I've tried my best to fight this thing. I can't fight anymore. If you know you have the power, the zeal, you know how to protect this country and stop this thing from happening, please climb up. None of them. None. None of them can do that because they are all involved in this mess. They are all involved in this mess. It's only Nigerians that are living in Nigeria that can explain
so
these
you
things
think
to the
that
world.
you think that the president not asking them to leave, it shows lack of competence?
Yes. That is what it shows. It shows that they don't love the citizens of this country. They are just there for their own self sake, for their own pocket sake. That is just the truth. Because how can something like that happen in a full maximum security prison? And they are still going around carrying press men, videoing nonsense and telling us stupid news. Tomorrow there, we wake up to other bad news. Look at the crisis that happened in Ondo State. Have they been able to pinpoint where that stuff came from? Who was the organizer of that terrorism or the massacre? Have they been able to tell us who those people are? Who did those things? Have they made any arrests? Did that thing just sit down and happen? Did those people just come out from nowhere and went to attack that place? Man, too many questions for these people to answer us. Too many questions. They all know where these things are coming from. They all know what is happening to this country. They all know, and they know that Nigeria as a whole, there is crying and wailing in the land. The land is not happy. The land is not happy at all. May God direct our path this time of election. Whoever we
So now
want in our hearts,
there's a question that I want to ask now. Irene, they said that the Directorate of State Security Service got a wind of what of the impending attack on the prison, and then shared that intelligence. He got a wind. They got to know that they were planning to attack the Kuje prison. It got
Okay.
intelligence, and then
Mm-hmm.
and the DSS, the Directorate for State
Yes.
Security Services, the DSS.
Mm-hmm.
So, and he shared this intelligence. So my question is, why didn't the
Okay.
government act on this intelligence? Do you think the government is culpable?
Because they
You think
want
the
it to
government
happen.
is responsible for the attack?
There is something
And
fishy
is it
with
that they
the
wanted the
government.
attack to happen?
The thing is, there is someone holding somebody's balls down there. There is someone actually holding somebody's balls and saying, look, I'll do this thing. And there is nothing you can do, because if you don't allow me do this, I'm going to expose you. I'm going to tell the whole Nigeria how this thing started. So they will allow all those things to happen because they do not want to be exposed. So they will allow it to happen. There are so many things that these people need to explain to us. What is going on? Can't these things be solved? They have to explain to us. They have to explain to
Wow,
us. Yes.
this is so sad.
It's sad. Really, really sad. And this is something that could cause war in this country, but because God is involved, He won't allow.
I see
I
that.
pray the lamentation in this country should stop, because it's not funny anymore. Like, you cannot say you are living in the UK, you want to travel to Nigeria to a safe spot. How? Where is the safe spot here? What is safe about this country? Because even we that are
Okay,
inside, we are not safe.
okay. Let me read comment from Decency Big. Say, may God continue to protect us in Nigeria in Jesus' name, Amen.
And
Okay, I've seen that one. And then when you said, I swear, Decency Big. See, okay, Miss. Okay, and I think that one is maybe they're just trying to crack jokes there. Okay, Onyi continues here. Imagine yesterday someone was knocking at my door. I was scared of opening because these days, if you do not call me on the phone before coming, I won't open my door for you. You can see the fear. You can see the
there is
fear
fear in
in
the land.
people.
There is
Yes, you
fear
can
in
see
the
the
land.
fear in people don't even feel safe in their own homes. They don't
Yes.
even feel safe in their own homes. So that is the thing. And I was even saying that you can imagine people who are living around the Kuje environment,
Oh.
and then seeing that a whole prison that is supposed to be the safest place for people to stay is being attacked. And then what is going to happen to them that they don't have security? So you can see that
Mm-hmm.
uh, most of them will start relocating out of that place.
Of course, they will.
Because
They will.
it's a sad commentary. So I think is this the reason they called our president go slow, because he doesn't act fast.
You
Why do
know,
I say that?
he's an old man, and sometimes age is telling on
Mm,
him. That's another thing. Age can be another barrier for him to actually, because we know our president back in 1983, when he was the president of this country, when he was the head of state,
mm,
actually. We know how competent he
mm,
was. We know how strong he
mm,
was, because he himself has fought so many wars. So sometimes age can be a factor, a very big factor for him not to be able to move. Sometimes even to write, he might not be able to quickly write or make a speech.
mm.
So that is why this time Nigerians should actually vote for someone that is young. So before his fourth year, even if he's getting older, it will not be as old as the present one.
Mm. I want
And
to read
also,
the comment that I want to read one of your comments, the one you put here. You said maybe you can explain this to me or explain this to
okay,
us here. And you said, okay, we're referring to what Onyi said. Say yes, Onyi, they want to replace the prisoners with normal people. What do you mean by that?
yeah, because how can they go around arresting innocent people that are not in the prison? Like the news that came out and said anyone that is looking suspicious, they will arrest. How? Don't they have the pictures of the prisoners that you're going to arrest someone that is, because you just feel it's suspicious, you arrest the person? Every time I keep saying, there was a time I visited EFCC office in Port Harcourt. That was when I actually know that Nigerian police force, they just don't know what they are doing sometimes when they're in that space, when they're in their office. Just
Mm.
because someone looks like a Yahoo boy, you arrest. Without knowing that these people, not all the young boys out there are Yahoo boys. Some of them are IT personnel and they work from their homes. Some of them, they work like maybe 2 to 3 times in a week. They work in the office and the rest they work in their home. But just because they have the laptops with them, they declare them Yahoo boys. And then they arrest them and throw them into the prison. They arrest even illiterates that cannot write. They arrest those people and put there because they know these people don't have people that will come out. How will you even find out if your brother that does not know how to operate a phone is being arrested and put in prison? The family will declare him missing. They will use those kinds of people and replace terrorists that we arrested, that escaped the prison.
Okay, that's what you mean by that.
Yes.
I don't think that's anyway. That's your own view anyway. That's a view on that. Because so what do you think it could be the solution to what we are with these challenges that we are facing? What do you think could be the
We
solution?
all know we all know there is a solution to every problem of this country. They should go back to the drawing board. Go back to 2014 when the terrorism entered Nigeria, when it started.
Mm.
When it started, who opened the doors? Who opened the bail for terrorists to enter the country? How did it all started? Which place did they sit to write this thing and say, look, man, we have to bring in these people into this place. We have to deal with this person in power so that things can go on for us. They should go back to the drawing board. They know what we're talking about. They should go back there, check where it started from, restructure the whole Nigeria. Nigeria can be okay if the leaders in the office, let's say from the president down to the lowest, the local government chairman, the councillors, this country can be great
Mm.
again. It can be a safe zone for everybody again.
Mm.
It can be a safe zone because
Because
sometimes you might have a
yeah,
good president, but the ministers, the commissioners, the governors, the chairmen are not allowing them actually work. They're not allowing all the things they are working hard for to come out for the citizens to be happy. So they should go back to the drawing board. Where did it start from? How did it start? What made it to start? How did they contract these people to come in and start terrorizing a peaceful country as Nigeria? They should go back to the drawing board. That is the only thing I can say.
because it's like these terrorists they were preparing the president for what was about to happen. So as a prelude to what they were planning to do, and they as after they attacked the convoy of Mr. President, and convened the advanced team of security guards, protocol and media officers ahead of the president when the president was going to for his Salah trip to his hometown in Daura, Katsina. They struck. They struck.
Wow.
They attacked the president's convoy.
Oh.
They attacked the president convoy. Yes. Yeah. After
If
it
a
was after
president
they
can be
attacked the
attacked, then
yeah.
what about
So
a commoner? What about the
president that was
commoner?
just
A
going
president
that
can be
was just
attacked.
going
What about the
to
commoner?
was going to go
Eh.
and celebrate Salah. That was going to his hometown in
Me,
Daura.
I have one
Daura.
question to ask on this stream. My question is, this is a pre-election year. Now, next year is
Yeah.
the main election year. What is the next election, or what is the next government going to do different? Is what I want to know. What are they going to do different? Because the North is a big part of this country. And that is
Mm.
where we have the highest poverty, the terrorism, and every of these acts going on. Imagine Turkey removing Nigeria from the countries that will get visa on arrival. Nigeria has been bad. that was, I think, yesterday. Nigeria has been banned 2 days ago or yesterday. I can't, but I know Nigeria has been removed from the list of countries that can be allowed to enter Turkey and get visa on arrival. Now, because of this thing that happened in Kuje prison, that is why they did what they did. They removed Nigeria from it. So my question is, what is the? I can't wait for the debates, the presidential debate to happen, because
so what's your question?
if it's going to happen,
What's
I
your
would
question?
want to go there and ask this question: what is the next government that is going to come in power? What are they going to do differently? They have to give us what they have to tell us. What are they going to do differently? How are they going to solve this problem of terrorism? How are they going to solve this problem of bombing everywhere in the north? Children, they are not safe. How are they going to solve this issue? Because that is number one issue right now on ground. If that place is not secure, that means the whole country is not secured.
Yes, it's not. You can imagine. You can imagine. After the attack, the residents had to. In fact, some of them had. They fled the scene. They fled from that particular area. They closed down their businesses, including markets, schools, banks, shops, everything. They just closed down. The citizens remain indoors, trying to absorb it. You can imagine the shock. If a whole prison can be broken into, is not safe. Is it a prison that is supposed to be fortified? It's supposed to be one of the safest places that one can ever think of because of the heavy security around the prison. So if that can happen to the prison, then begin to ask yourself, me that I don't even have such security around me, how safe am I? So it led to businesses being put down, completely shut down, and you can begin to imagine the untold hardship this whole thing would have on the people that they're just trying, especially those ones that live on daily businesses,
daily income,
having to now daily income, and having to now shut down their businesses. And it's funny, and they don't really. Where do you think they're going to have their next meal? If the businesses that give them daily income to survive is closed down because of the security situation. So you can imagine it's a really sad thing. I'm telling you.
It's a sad story. Really sad.
So for your question, what is going to happen to the next president of the country? What's that question? You can repeat that.
What is going to be different about him? Is he going to remove terrorism from the country? Are all these crises going to leave? Like, what is I don't know again. I don't know. Oh God, what is he going to do differently?
The thing is this.
That is
Aaron, the thing is this. Like they always say that we're not going to go to heaven to bring angels to come and govern us or lead us.
Yes.
They are still going to be Nigerians. The problem we have in this country is that Nigerian factor. Now that Nigerian factor, I said it when I did my last stream. That Nigerian factor, it's just something that has contributed so negatively, that has stifled the development of this country.
Yes.
For example, you want something done in the right way, for like the PVC. PVC was introduced. The voters register was introduced in order to enhance credibility of the election. But the Nigerian factor that is always everywhere will ensure that that does not happen. So a president that is coming in to govern, maybe he has good intention, and then he comes into that office and begins to see Nigerian factors all over the place. You have to pan towards you pander towards your village people, or your chiefs, or your ethnic group. You want to satisfy them, and you want to, and the pressure for you to do certain very selfish things for yourself and your that of your people will be there. And then
Mm-hmm.
if you don't do that, they are the ones to say, when just like when Goodluck was the president, they
But
accused
yes.
Goodluck of not developing his hometown. And I asked, is Goodluck supposed to develop his hometown and leave other places in
When there
Nigeria?
is a governor, when there's a local government chairman.
So now, but they are now saying that because so that's that Nigerian factor. You just see yourself pandering towards that factor, so which has really made not allow things to work the way things should be, in the way things should be. So you see Nigerian factor resonating in everything in what is doing.
Yeah.
So a new president that comes in has to be focused. He has to ensure that, of course, there's a manifesto that he wrote on to become the president of the country. And then he sold these manifestos to the voters. The voters looked at these manifestos and saw that, okay, this is what we want. And based on that, he's given the top job to do. And then he gets there. Is it that the same manifesto that gave him the job is tossed aside? And then he begins to
Mm-hmm.
do what? So, but I just believe that I know that it's a different ball game. When you are outside, you see, when you are
Yes.
outside, it's not the same thing as when you
It's
come in
not the same when you
and
are in
sit,
there. Yes,
yeah,
that's the
and sit on
fact.
that and yeah, and sit on that seat. But you should try as much as you can, because if you have one objective in mind, if the objective is to increase the prosperity, the objective is to increase the prosperity of your people, the prosperity of Nigerians who have elected you, and you owe them that duty to
Of
ensure that
course.
their life is better off than when you took over. And then if you focus on that, I just feel that they should just focus on that. For example, why are you coming in? You're coming in because you feel that we have a 92% poverty rate, and then
Yes.
your tough job is to ensure that you bring down that poverty rate to its barest minimum. That's your KPI. That's your key performance indicator now, is to bring down that poverty from 92% to at least a reasonable level, to maybe like 50% or even 60%. That's
Mm-hmm.
what you're looking at. And then if you have electricity, you have power generation, and maybe around
Yes.
4,000 megawatts generation. And then your top job is to drive it to maybe 7,000. So you have your job, cut out for you. You have your job cut out for you. So these are the things you look at, and you make
All
sure that you
this,
don't get. What did you
all,
say?
all these things can only happen if he has good people under him. If he has
But
good
why
people
would you
under
not have good people under you? That is your
him,
that is the your first job is to assemble. Your first job as the president of the country is to assemble the best you can, the best people, the best team that can make you achieve your goal. Because at the end of the day, Nigerians didn't vote for these people; they voted for you. So
yes.
you cannot begin to shirk your responsibility and begin the blame game. Nigerians are tired of blame game. They didn't elect
True.
you. They didn't elect you to come to that office and start the blame game. The understanding is that you must have studied. For you to want to be the president of Nigeria, you should be acquainted with the problems that we have. You should be acquainted
Yes.
with the problems that we have, and know that, yes, this is what you're getting into. And not when you get there, you start this horse trading, telling us, oh, you didn't know it was this much. What? Fine, you might not have had 100% of the problems, but of course you know what the problems are. You know what the problems are. You may not have maybe 100% of that problem, but you know what the problems are. You know that
Mm-hmm.
Nigeria is suffering from poor electricity. You know
Poor
Nigeria is
infrastructure.
having
The whole infrastructure
all
of the
the
country is poor.
infrastructure development. There's a case of infrastructural deficit in the country. You know all that. You know that the minimum wage cannot take Nigeria. You just have to itemize the things that you know, and you want to work on those things. You have your job cut out for you. So I see no reason why if you're coming in, the basic thing, I'm just answering those questions, the question that you just asked. That was the next president coming to do. So the next president already has his job cut out for him. He doesn't need anybody to tell him. He's a Nigerian. He's lived here. We've never gone to America to go and bring someone who has stayed there to come to Nigeria. He's not very familiar with the challenges.
Travel to Egypt to go and acquire knowledge on how to boost the power sector of the country.
Okay, so, Peter Obi.
Yeah. So
yeah,
I hope he's coming in is going to make things change, and I hope our vote counts at the end of the day.
Because they asked Peter Obi, they asked him, why would you go to Egypt to go and understudy their how they generate their electricity? And he simply said that he went to Egypt. He went to Egypt to do that because he wants to understand how Egypt has been able to generate from, I think he said Egypt generated about 20,000 megawatts of electricity or power. They went there, he went there to, that's a lot. They went there to understand why that is done. And they said, why they asked him, why didn't you ask the people in Nigeria and then find out from them what is it that they have done, those one in the power sector, what is it that they have done, and then why do we still have epileptic power supply? Instead of him going to a foreign land to want to go and get solutions from there, he said they just went there to understudy why they have been so successful. So that is that. So the thing is this, it's one thing, we need someone with capacity. You have to have the competence, the capacity. Yes, you just have to have that competence and that capacity to be able to do what you say you're going to do. It's not something that you're just saying, oh, I want to do this, I want to do that, and you're just running all over the place. It's not about running all over the place. Like I said, Nigeria, the job of Nigeria is already, the job of the Nigerian president is already cut out for him. It's already cut out for him, and that's just the truth. What is our present problem? What is our present problem? We don't go to Jupiter to go and find solution. I don't believe that you have to begin to crisscross all over the world that you're looking for solution, because I don't think that you're just pandering to emotions and then playing to the gallery, as far as I'm concerned. Because if now that you're not the president, you're moving out all about the place looking for solution. So when you are the president, that means you not stay your foot here. Yeah, you'll be going until you're looking for a solution. What's that solution that you're looking for that you cannot get the solution here? So all those things are just distractions as far as I'm concerned.
Anyways,
that's the way I see it.
I'm waiting for the debate, the presidential debate, which is next year. I think it's next year. That debate is going to be happening next year. So I'm waiting to hear. I wish I know where the venue would be, because I have like
you want to be part of the debate.
I would have really loved to be part of it, like to ask those questions directly. Directly. Or maybe they will
answer those questions.
Maybe they will share a link for us on social media for us to ask our questions. And I pray my question is picked to be asked on Twitter. I know it's Twitter they are going to use. So I pray my question is picked and let them answer, because we need answers and we need work and action. We need action. We need words. When they say it, let them put it to action and let the thing come to establishment. That's what we need.
Okay,
those are my last words, because I'm about going down the stream right now.
Let me read a comment. Okay, you're about going out the stream. Okay, let me just read a comment there before you, so that you can rest. I think this one is from Robocop. He said, King Robocop. He said, it's very pathetic what is going on. It's very pathetic. Yes, it is indeed pathetic what is going on. You can see that. And then, okay, so that's about that. So so what's your final, in line with the topic for today, so what's your final word on this? What's your final view on this? Because why should the minister be sacked? Why should he be sacked? Or if he's not sacked, will he interfere with the probe because they said there's a probe panel already? Do you think that he should be sacked, be relieved of his duty while the probe panel is going on, or he should be there while the probe panel is on? Is he going to interfere? Is he being around will interfere with the probe, or if he leaves, the probe will be fair?
It's best is relieved from all affairs that has to do with that ministry for now, while he's being monitored, and then let the probe begin. Because if he's still in power and he can interfere, he can interfere, and then people will come around, keep telling him, giving him tips of what is going on at the probe court. So the best thing is for them to relieve him of his power and keep him on monitoring. He should be monitored throughout the probe, and when the probe is done, if he's not guilty, then he can go back to the office. But on the other hand, we need someone that is competent to go back to that office, not someone that is not competent. Being a minister of that kind of a place is not something for you to collect and then go and start partying around, traveling the world, having vacations here and there, forgetting you have a big mandate that you're holding. The people are watching you. People are looking up to you for protection. So it should be relieved, or it should be the one to resign. He should resign and let someone that's competent.
So, but if he doesn't want to resign, what about the Controller General of the Nigerian prisons? What do you think that one should do? Is the first person to even leave should be him, Abi?
Both of them should be relieved.
That's the first person to leave, because that falls directly. It falls directly.
They are not competent. They are not competent. Let them go and rest. The minister should resign. The controller of prisons should resign also. Let them go and relax. Nigeria is no more a babish country where it's only the strong that can hold a position right now and actually make this country work. We don't want that sugar daddies in office taking our monies and wealth to their girlfriends, calling themselves little girl with big God everywhere. We don't want people that will be taking our country for a ride. We want people that are competent in the office. Because sometimes they might not be guilty, but because they lack how will I put it? They are too lazy to sit in that office and do the right things. And there you see a leakage. Then these things will occur and happen. So the best thing is for them to resign. Simple. They should resign and go and relax.
Now, before I let you off, I want you to react to this thing that the president said, and then let me just get your own opinion on this. He said the president is saying he's actually angry. The president is angry and he's querying, asking too many questions. And the president is saying that he said, I am disappointed with the intelligence system. How can terrorists organize, have weapons, attack a security installation and get away with it? How did the defenses at the prison fail to prevent the attack? How many inmates were in the facility? How many of them can you account for? How many personnel did you have on duty? How many of them were harmed? Were the guards on the watch? So I asked this question. Why is the president asking all these questions?
This is the question I'm supposed to be asking the old.
Why is he asking all these questions? Is he supposed to be asking questions, or is supposed to?
Let me go ask question. Because I know
So you think the president should be asking this question?
No, they should be the ones answering these questions. Yes, they should be the one answering these questions. Asking these questions is like coming to ask us how much is coming to ask someone that works in a bank how much fertilizer is when you are not a farmer. That is how it is. Or going to ask a market woman how you can do surgery. for someone that has broken leg? It's not we that they're supposed to ask that kind of question. That's just it. Those kinds of questions should be asked in the probing courts. They should go and, when they are doing their probe, they should ask those questions. Because I and the president, we are expressing very serious shock on this news. You know, if the president can ask kind of question, who I be now? My own question they never answer.
No, because I'm just
Oh
wondering
my
because I
God,
don't think
Nigeria.
that question is really, I don't know. It just gives away the president, gives away the president as someone that is not on top of his job.
Of course, that's how
That's
it
the way.
is. You know, the
Yes, as
funny
if
thing
someone
about
that
all
is
these
not
things, the
on
funny
top of
thing
his
is that
job.
this our government, they feel Nigeria is in a world of its own. They forget the Western world is watching. They forget these things, and that is where when you are with that green passport, they see you as one sheet. You don't have value in their eyes. How can the president ask kind of question? And they forget there's something called, there are top news lines in the world that are always carrying Nigerian news. And when they carry this kind of news and post on their straps, when you're reading through their straps, you see that kind of question.
Yeah,
They will be like, what is going on here? How can you, that is the old head, like of a federal republic, asking this kind of question? I just pray this new election year that is coming, everything should be set right. Nigerians should be happy again. We deserve to be happy. For goodness sake, we deserve to be happy. We deserve to be
I
happy in all
you
situations.
think it's because of all these things that are actually going on? That's why the youths are now very determined. They are determined to ensure that they'll pick up their PVCs and ensure, and then during the
Exactly.
election period. And you think that
Yes.
is going to, the Nigerian factor will not play against that?
The thing is, we all know, yes, the Nigerian factor is another very fat problem. Let me put it that way. Now, the youth, they're agitating. How many of them have been able to sensitize us? Yes, sensitize people in their village on how to and who to vote for. How many of them has done that? Done seminars, even using their platform like Facebook, Instagram, and the rest. How many of them have done that? It's not to pick up PVCs and then on the day to vote, you are in a beer parlor or you are in Bet Niger betting. Instead of going to be in that place and voting, you're in Bet Niger betting,
or,
sitting
or,
in a
the,
beer
or
parlor,
they'll be
and then
watching,
coming to say
or they'll
the
be watching
election was
Big
rigged.
Brother. They'll be watching Big Brother.
Big
Or
Brother,
they'll be
because
watching
I
Big
heard it's
Brother.
about to start. They should
Oh,
make the
that's
people in the
another
Big Brother house to
distraction.
also vote. They should make the people in the housemates inside there to also vote. They are Nigerians. The money going to their bank account after they win is from Nigeria.
How can they
Election
vote now? They can't vote
should be
now.
done everywhere. They can vote. They can.
How do you think they can do
They can.
that?
If they want them to, they will allow them go out there and vote with escorts. They
I
can.
see.
Just like what you are saying about Nigerian factor. That particular part of Nigeria now will act as if they don't know that the election is going on. Anyway, let's see how it goes. We pray our votes should be counted, and whoever we want to be in power to come in and make us happy, change things for the better. Because right now, a loaf of bread is 1,000 naira. The bakers are on strike, and by the time they come back from strike, is the truth.
Are they on
By the time
strike
they come back from
already?
strike, yes, since last week they have been on strike. So by the time they come back from strike, the bread will be going up to like 1,200 because they might not find solution to their strike, whatever they were striking for. You know,
So
what
why are they
goes up in Nigeria never comes
why
down.
are they striking?
They are striking because flour is expensive. That is why. So we pray when they come
Okay.
back, flour will go down and bread will come down. We pray because Nigeria we like to buga. There's nothing that goes up that come down. Nigeria when it comes to food. But see now, pure water now is 20 naira for a sachet. So Now we know. But as it goes up, it doesn't come down. I don't know why. We don't know why that one now is even expensive. Why pure water is expensive. Pure water, the common thing we can buy with the smallest money, like 10 naira. From 5 naira to 10 naira, from 10 naira to 20 naira. Now they sell 3 for 15 naira. So we pray after all these their troubles of strike and all, we are able to still buy bread. So may God help us in this
Wow.
country. Those are my last words. For we that don't have anybody in power, we should believe in God strongly. It is the time for us to hold God strong, believe in God, worship God in truth and in spirit. This is the time. There is no time to play hanky panky with your faith anymore. It is time for you to actually pray for your motherland, wherever you are in the world. Nigerians need your prayers because we are all living in
That's
fear.
true.
Too much crisis in a day. Too many crises. If you are not hit by traffic, you are hit by bad news from the government, you are hit by terrorist attacks in the north, children are suffering, too many issues. We need to hold our God very close at this point in time. That is what I can say. Those are my words, last words for this stream until we do another stream on this channel.
Okay. Thank you so very much, Irene. I appreciate your presence. I appreciate the fact that you came up here to co-host with me. I appreciate that. And your views, I also appreciated. Thank you so very much, Irene.
Thank you for having me. All right, guys,
Uh,
good night. As I come
Good
down,
night.
yeah.
Good night. Yeah, bye. Good night. So guys, that's the conversation for today. Um, After the jailbreak, I was wondering why the principal officers were directly responsible for the internal maintenance of peace and security in the country are still having their jobs. I thought by now they should have been relieved of their jobs, and if they were unable or if they cannot on their own resign, if they lack the moral rectitude to do so, and then the president should wield the big stick and give them summary dismissal. They should, because I do not understand why people who have the judiciary responsibility of maintaining internal security that cannot do that. In fact, what even alarms me is the fact that they said DSS, Directorate for the State Security Service, said they got intel about the impending attack, and they shared this intel with the security operatives before the horrific incident, and nobody acted on that. So if they did act on that, I'm sure if they had acted on that, perhaps they would have been able to enfoil the attack. So for them to allow these criminal elements to have a field day operating for more than 4 hours, attacking all cells, freeing all the inmates, about 867 inmates were freed. They only recaptured about 551, while 443 is still at large. You can imagine having criminals being set off among decent human beings. I can't even begin to think the havoc they'll be wreaking on the civilians, the innocent citizens. So it is a serious indictment on the security people. It is a serious indictment on the Minister of Interior, the serious indictment on the Controller General of the Nigerian Nigerian prison services. So by now, they should all have been either resigned or sacked. A probe panel is set up. You can't set up a probe. I mean, you can't be a judge in your own case. They should be relieved of their duties, maybe temporarily, until when the probe panel report comes out, maybe if the president so wish, or if they are found not culpable, then maybe they can come back. But for you to allow them have a field day, in spite of the failure of their ministry, and they're still there, it doesn't speak well for the president. It doesn't make the president to be someone that is decisive. So I feel that these people should have been relieved of their duty to send a very strong signal to others who cannot perform. So for them to still be there on the job, it looks like we are nothing but a joke. So this is why this was the topic for this live stream, and I really appreciate my subscribers and friends, fans that came up here to have this conversation with me, and I appreciate my co-host Irene J.U. And thank you so very much for this. And then, because Nigeria belongs to us, we can't stand this. I mean, you're not even safe. You're not safe. You're not safe. Just imagine what Turkey is doing to us. We don't feel safe. So the president has to be decisive more than ever. He's got to be decisive. He has to wield the big stick. Anybody that has been appointed to do a job, the person has a KPI. That's a yardstick for measuring either success or failure of the person, of the minister, of the DG. And if he fails, to achieve that which he was appointed to do, he gets fired. He gets fired. No two ways about it. No emotions, no sentiments. You were brought in to do a job. Nigeria is sick. Nigeria is hemorrhaging. And it has to be stitched to stop the bleeding. And if you ask for the job to stop the bleed, to stitch and stop the bleeding of Nigeria, and you're unable to stitch and stop the bleeding, then why the hell are you still there? You've got no reason to be there. So that is the message of this live stream. The president should be more decisive, should wield the big stick. Enough of sentiments. Enough. We can't have this. We're becoming the laughing stock of community of nations. This has to stop. So that is where I'm going to draw the curtain for today. Thank you for finding the time to be part of this stream with me until I come your way pretty soon. Stay awesome and love Nigeria. Peace out.